Hi everybody, all my followers, be welcome to another video. Right, if you follow the channel, you've seen that the other Golf, which is already gone, was picked up first. So we are now moving into the second Golf. Second Golf is a 2008 Volkswagen Golf with the 2-liter TDI engine, if I'm not mistaken. Engine is most likely not important for this problem. Now, what's the problem with this car? Right, if you watch my videos and you've seen the video for the Honda Civic high shift actuator system, you've seen in the background, I'm going to put somewhere here, you've seen on the background open ABS module. So that open ABS module is that module in there, and that module has been removed from this car because the garage where it came from told me that the module, which is that module, is faulty. Now, when they first brought me the module about a couple of weeks ago, I couldn't check it straight away, but later on when I had a little bit, I've opened the module, as you can see, and visually nothing looks wrong on the module. There's no signs of burn, there's no signs of nothing really. The module looks absolutely perfect. I've done a few measurements from some of the components, capacitors, some resistors, etc, etc. At glance, everything looked okay to me. Now, I'm not saying the unit is not faulty. All I'm saying is, at glance, on the bench, I couldn't see nothing wrong. So I told the guys that brought me the car, I said, look, what was the problem with the car? And I was told, believe me or not, oh, the ABS light was on. I said, okay, but what was the faults? And they couldn't tell me, believe me or not. So what I told them is, bring me the car and I will have a look. So the car was dropped here then, but was only dropped after the other Golf. So I've worked on that one first. Well, as you have seen, I picked up that one first. Anyway, we're gonna move into this one now. So yes, so there's something wrong with the ABS system, I guess. The car still starts. I know the car was brought kind of driving to here. So yeah, anyway, what we're going to do, and this is my first thing I'm going to try to do, is plug in the module and actually read the codes. Because otherwise, I don't know what's wrong. I'm not saying there is not an issue with the module. All I'm saying is I want to see for myself exactly what is wrong. So I'm going to put the cover back on. I'm not going to seal the module. I'm just going to put the cover, maybe tape it around. I'm not going to connect any hydraulic lines, just purely electrics. I just want to connect the module, scan the car, and see what we have. Okay, as you've seen, the module is now plugged in, battery is connected, Maxi is already also plugged in. That's just gonna go to Volkswagen. That's gonna turn the ignition on. Am I gonna get the charger actually? Okay, so we have the brake light flashing. I don't want to start the engine just yet because of the way the module is there, so I don't want to really start it. But there we go. So there is faults for brakes. He's gonna brake fluid owners. Okay, so the brake fluid is low. We know that obviously. Most likely they drain everything. Okay, so it's gonna go now here. Scan the car and see what we have. Okay, so did a gateway scan. Pretty much everything came up with faults. We are not interested on anything else at the moment other than the brakes. So let's gonna scan the module. So we have communications with the module, which is good to start with. ABS operation, implausible signal. ABS operation, implausible signal. Okay, that's interesting. Now without the ABS plugged in is going to be a little bit tricky, so to test this, I'm going to have to find out a way so all these warnings, they are on and off. Now my brake pressure sensor, obviously steering angle not initiated. Okay, I think right now is a little bit pointless looking at any live data really, at least without being able to start the engine and get rid of that fluid level low. Okay, let me think how we're gonna do this to do some testing. Okay, so clear the codes. Codes went away. D-Day, let me come out of this because otherwise everything will be flashing there. Let me come out of the module. Okay, so clear the codes. Clear the codes. The fluid level, I just put the sensor in there like that, as you can see, so it reads as if it's fluid on it. Did a steering angle calibration, which in this car, interestingly enough, it's just right 5 seconds, left 5 seconds, back to center, and it clears, and everything's gone away. So that code 1130, I did a quick check, and it's quite of a common problem on these units, by the looks of it, and I want to basically what I want to do is I want to put the module under the microscope. Yeah, I think that's what I want to do. But before we do that, I just want to check my live data. So we're gonna get the warnings again. All the lights flashing at least. So let me see. I'm not gonna be able to do this very well. Just want to see if I have, so no operator, no operator. So the warnings are on and off, obviously, because of the let me see if I get readings from yeah, I get from everything. Yeah, all the wheels are reading, as you can see in there. Okay, I'm only literally moving like a foot back and forwards, but everything is working there, as you've seen. Steering angle sensor now is reading okay. If you've seen, did I show you live data earlier? Maybe I didn't. So it's initiated, so that's fine. So yeah. So there's the modules fitted, that's fine. Airbag, okay, I'll apply it. That's interesting. So what I'm gonna do next is We'll have codes again once I disconnect everything and once I disconnect the battery again, but let's just do a quick scan on the entire car, a quick erase, and see if anything comes back. It's gonna be that quick that I'm not even pausing the video. Okay, so first glance, nothing came back, and I have nothing on the dash. So, well, I can't really say it's fixed because I don't think it is. I want to put the module under the microscope. This is one of those modules where the PCB connects to the pins, etc., through those sort of pressure pins. So it could be a poor contact in there. It at glance didn't seem like. I didn't put nothing under the microscope, so we're going to do that and go from there. Really, obviously, it looks like I'm going to have to go for a test drive. It's not going to happen today, but we'll do something. Okay, and before we go any further, don't forget your basics. So I've been checking powers, I've been checking grounds, etc. So make sure everything is good. Now, the fact that this problem now went away, so which to me means is a intermittent problem. Usually, guys, intermittent problems are caused by 2 or 3 issues. 3 issues mainly, which is moisture, so water ingress getting somewhere and making issues, vibrations, which can cause poor contacts, etc., and temperature, heat or cold, which will expand or contract things and make things to fail. So the module was responding okay, as you've seen, no faults, no nothing. So powers and grounds are there. I've been wiggling the wires with the module connected, see if anything would come out. Nothing really showed up. So what I'm going to do is the following. So this module is, as I was trying to explain to you earlier, these pins are not soldered. They are just sort of pressed into the through holes. So they have, so right where the through hole is, they have they are kind of expand, and they are kind of, I don't have one open here to show you, but basically is the pins. Actually, I do have one. Hold on a second, let me show you, because I have a module here somewhere like that. I just don't know what it is, but I will find. Oh, there it is. There it is. So this is how it works. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but can you see there? The pins are kind of open in the middle. You see that? They're open in the middle and open. So when they go through the hole, they make pressure against the obviously the contact on the actually PCB. This system, although good, over time, the metal loses obviously with the temperature cycles, etc. This pressure starts to, obviously the pin starts to lose the pressure and starts to become, and it could make a poor contact. So the first thing I'm going to do is solder every single one of them, and then I'm going to reflow these 2 chips. Sorry for cutting so abruptly, my little one was calling me. So yeah, as I was saying, guys, I'm going to solder every single one of these pins and reflow these 2 chips. This one I'm going to have to use, what it is, no clean flux, which I have somewhere in there. There it is. I'll have to use that. And on this one, I'm just going to use normal paste. And yeah, so we're going to solder. I already have this one under the microscope, every single pin. I can't really see anything wrong. They all look the same. But you never know if under the temperature is now one of the pins actually is not soldered, it's there in place, and with temperature it kind of moves and starts to fail. So guys, these things are possible. So let's gonna do that and then move from there. So now we're gonna let it cool down and then give it a clean. Now before you guys ask how I know when to stop heating, the way I usually do, guys, and as you start to do this, you start to get a little bit of experience. So on this one, it's quite easy to see when the solder is melting, because it gets really shiny and you can see the solder sort of kind of moving with the air, so you can really see. On this case, you don't see the balls underneath, so this is why it's called a PGA chip, which is a ball grid array. So the way it connects to the board is with small spheres. I still have some in there from when I used to have my reflow machine. Anyway, so the way I know is, as you heat around, you can see there's chips around here, yeah? Chips, there is like compounds, like there's capacitors here, etc. As you go around, as you start to heat, you can see these ones on the edge start to melt. So when you see these ones start to melt, if you are quite even as you heat up the chip, you will know the ones in the middle will be as well. I usually set my air gun for this sort of stuff to about 350. Sorry guys, so as you can see in there, 350. That's what I usually set it to. 350, above 300 is usually okay. All depends on the chip size. If it was a really small chip, I'll probably reduce the heat a little bit. But yeah, so we solder every single pin. We reflow that chip, reflow that one. Now we're gonna wait it to cool down a little bit, clean, and put it back on the car. And the module is plugged back in. And I was trying to be so careful, and I missed those two pins in there. I don't know how. I'm gonna have to take it off and solder again. Anyway, I'm gonna have to take it off to put it back in anyway, and to seal, but I completely forgot those two pins. Don't know how I missed them. Anyway, it's gonna turn ignition on. Actually, let's gonna start the car and see if we have anything on there. So there we go, no issues. Let's gonna do another scan just to show you that just asking for fuel as usual. It's quick going there on the ABS. Oh, there's a little bit of glare now. Turbo codes, no turbo codes. So what we're going to do now, guys, is I'm not going to take you through that. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to put the unit back in and go for a test drive, and then I think I'll take it from there. I have an idea about what I'm going to do with this car and with this video, but for now I just want to fit the module back in and go for a drive. I'm quite happy with what I've done. I'm quite happy that most likely was something like that, and by doing what we did, we actually tackled the issue. So yeah, I'm going to solder those two pins that I've missed, seal the unit and fit it back in, bleed the brakes, and go for a test drive. So I think the next time you're going to see me is going to be actually ready to take off. I'm not going to bother you with all this stuff. So yeah, the next time you're going to see me is ready to take off to test the brakes. So, as you might have seen, did that work? No, it didn't. And to save you from disappointment and wasting your time, what I've done is I fixed the problem. As you can see, in the meantime, it developed a front side bulb. I think it's gone. Anyway, ABS is sorted. Yes, he had to take a new unit. I literally just got back home from going and adapt everything. So did steering, well, the steering you can actually do it stationary, but did the longitudinal, lateral sensors for the ESP, did the brake sensor, the brake pressure sensor, and I think that was it really. The only thing I didn't have to do on this one, luckily, was I didn't have to do the brake pressure sensor or the inlet valves and outlet valves calibration. Didn't ask for that, which is good. The module is absolutely fault free now. Well, there is no lights, no nothing. So the problem is fixed. The only thing I came across that it might worth to mention is that the unit I got for this car, so the other unit I believe is, so the part number is the same, and by the way, there is a couple part numbers they are quite prone to fail with this issue, not just, but they are quite prone to fail with this issue. I believe it's the AC and CD or something like that. This pump that I fitted now is exactly the same part number, but the suffix is different, is a BL. The difference is that the old unit was a 18 bytes long coding. This unit is 19. Not rocket science. All you have to do is copy the same coding and add 2 zeros at the end to make the code 19 bytes long. Another thing you need to do, or I had to, is with one cycle, with the ignition always on, you need to do the coding. The unit will accept the coding. If you cycle the ignition at this point, I was losing the coding. It was just reverting back all to zeros. So the only way to do it was, so ignition on, code, the unit accepts the coding, then you do steering angle calibration, you do brake pressure sensor calibration, and I think that was it. And then yes, you can cycle the ignition. Then I went for a drive to test and to do the lateral and longitudinal acceleration sensors, and that's it really. Problem is fixed, and yeah, it was a shame that it didn't work, so I had to replace the pump again, going through the bleeding process again. Luckily this unit, to be honest with you, is right there. It's really easy to access. Wish all the cars would have a pump this easy to access. It's really easy. It's so easy to change. So yeah, I had to bleed the brakes again, and today I had to do it on my own, which was a little bit tricky, but anyway, job done, guys. So oh, just one thing before I go, just for the calibrations, etc. I'm gonna leave a link in the description of this video for a Caddy, a Volkswagen Caddy, which uses the same unit, the MK60 EC1, and in that video I'll show you how to do all the calibrations, etc, etc. So just go on the description below and watch that video. As for this video, guys, hope you learned something. Hope there's some information here you can find useful. If you do have any questions, any comments, please put them below, and like always, thanks for watching.